Welcome to our Rolemaster actual play session. Twilight of the Old Order and Ain't No Place for a Hero are two campaigns currently co-joined, set in the world of Duranarki, the continent of men. In this gritty, cutthroat world, politics, religion, and commerce are all intertwined and reign supreme. Characters need to be both smart and ruthless to survive. We hope you enjoy our story, and, as always, may the dice roll in your favor. This is episode 137 of Twilight of the Old Order, and episode 114 of Ain't No Place for a Hero. The two parties are in the free city of Landana, where they are turning their attention to where next and what to do regarding their slain friend, Keros. We pick up the story at dawn of the day the two parties are scheduled to go their separate ways, and, after Tarquin and Askel have been on a very unsuccessful date the night before. Hello, I'm Chris, otherwise known as GM Chance, and welcome to our Two Tales. Up on screen, 12 faces, 12 characters, 6 characters from one campaign called Twilight of the Old Order, and 6 characters from the other campaign called Ain't No Place for a Hero. These two stories are set in the same world at the same time with some broadly similar themes. And this is the third time that these two campaigns have come together. The third time that these 12 characters up on screen have worked with each other. In a second or so, I'm going to hand over to the players of the characters to introduce the faces up on screen a little bit more. Before I do, my regular, habitual shout-out, thank you, whatever you want to call it, to our viewers, our loyal viewers, people that follow our stories, provide ideas, suggestions, or just general encouragement. We really do appreciate it. If that's one of you that's watching this, thank you. It really is appreciated. As mentioned many times, we do this for fun. It's our hobby. We're thrilled that people around the world find our story interesting and follow us. What I would also say is, if you're getting something out of this, if you're enjoying it, we would really love either a like or, even better, a subscribe down below. It absolutely does help the channel grow, and it helps other people like you find our stories that we put out there. Right, no more further ado from me. We're going to hear from the players, and even though he's actually not with us tonight, we have a pre-recording of Pete, who is going to introduce his characters. Take it away, Pete.
Hi, I'm Pete, and in this episode I'll be playing Leif. Leif is a half-elf warrior mage, which means he uses weapons as well as magic. He's a friendly fellow, very empathetic, and a really kind member of the party.
Kia ora, I'm Mason, and for this episode I'm playing Demos. He's a very attractive, very hunky, very buff mixed man. Really great with his spear and shield, and he can whip out some swords if he needs to. He's not the most intelligent person, but he makes up for it with a lot of kindness, a lot of gentleness, except for when he's fighting. And he's been with the party for a little while, has thoroughly enjoyed his time with them, is very much looking forward to saving the world. And on the side, he is looking and hoping to find his long-lost sister that was kidnapped a long, long time ago.
Hi, I'm Graham. I play Nyathanel Sherakir. She is a Magent, which is a mix of stealthy skills, fighting skills, and magic skills, mentalism, magic of the mind. She is a complex character, something of a religious fundamentalist who believes in assassination as a sacred endeavor. She keeps that well hidden, however. She is, however, a dab hand with a short sword, and uses her magic and sneaky ability to good use in sneaking up on her adversaries.
Hi, my name's Giles, and for this episode I'm playing Tarquin. So Tarquin is a young, ridiculously good-looking half-elf. During his early life and adolescence, he's been well trained in the gentle arts of thievery, charming others using his remarkably good looks, and of course, violence. He is in his own way a religious man, and he's out looking for some understanding as to what's happened to his homelands.
Kia ora, I'm Alex, and for this episode I'm playing Keros. Keros is a young North woman. She's a weather mage, a pretty powerful weather mage with some very cool spells. She's quite sweet and kind, a bit emotionally labile, but wears a heart on her sleeve and a strong moral compass. She also has a companion, a cat called Victory, who's a very important member of the party, and Victory was rescued, oh there's Victory, a wee while ago from impending doom.
Hello, I'm Graham. I play Etienne Gilderflower. He is a genitrist, which is a type of paladin or holy warrior. He follows the teachings of Aphrodite, the goddess of love, and he believes that her will leads him on, and he makes decisions based on the dreams he receives or thinks he receives from his goddess. He has joined the party on the mission to, as he understands it, to save the old order, the world as they know it. He is a very charming, very good-looking man, a very eccentric man, speaks in riddles and rhymes most of the time, but he believes in a higher purpose. He's a very dab hand with a sword, usually found in full plate.
Kia ora, I'm Pete, and I'll be playing Mithan in this episode. Mithan is a ranger. She's a high man. She's pretty good at outdoor skills, and she's a pretty good archer. She's not a people person. She doesn't really care about people's feelings, although she's beginning to in this party.
Hi, I'm Aidan, and I'm playing Grey. Grey is a very handsome half-elf who doesn't really believe in wearing shirts. He's constantly just displaying his body all the time, which, you know, he's got it, so he's flaunting it. He's got a bit of a tragic backstory. Pretty much everyone he's ever really cared about has been murdered brutally. But despite that, he's still a lovely guy. He's very caring, cares a lot about his teammates and also animals, loves animals, as he is a beastmaster. So he has the power to kind of, I don't know, not control, well, he can control animals, but he can also kind of interact with them and understand them and get them to help him do what he needs to do. And when he's not using his magic, he is a bit of a dab hand with an axe. He is very good at chopping things, chopping enemies, and also good with a little bit of stabby and a crossbow as well. He has a bird called Wingy that is his best friend that needs to have a bit more of a story, I guess. She'll come into it a bit more like down the road, I think. Yeah, that's great.
Hello, I'm Graham, and I play Severin Kaidegard, who is a human swordsman, a dab hand at the sword, has spent his whole life training in swordsmanship. He is a very charming fellow and fancies himself as a bit of a leader.
Hi, I'm Stara. I play Jada. She's a 6'7" Arab-looking woman. She fights with a quarterstaff, but not often because she's a healer. She grew up in a monastery where they adopted her, and she has just been taught how to heal, do martial arts. That's all she's done her entire life.
Hello, I'm Graham, and I'm playing Tanya Anastasia, who is an elven hunter. dab hand with a bow. She has some outdoor skills, some very adept sneaky skills, and is an interesting personality, a little bit spiky, a little bit difficult to know, but inside, a good egg.
Kia ora everyone, my name's Anthony, and for this episode I'm playing Askelion, or Askel for short. He's a tall half-elf warrior mage who comes from the port city of Shabibi, and accordingly his favourite weapon is his ornate cutlass. As a warrior mage, Askel combines his offensive and defensive spells along with his prowess with his cutlass and in unarmed combat.
Kia ora, my name's Pete, and I'll be playing Nicholas in this episode. Nicholas is a common man and mentat by profession. That means he is a spell user, and he uses spells from the mentalism realm. Nicholas is a quiet and sort of unassuming sort of fellow. He doesn't like to draw attention to himself.
And there we go. A bit more information, a bit more of a sense of who the characters are up on the screen, and critically, the faces, and a bit about the people that play those characters. So, just a little bit more expansion on the characters. Before each game, I send out some questions to the players, the idea of which is meant to elicit more information about the characters that they're playing. And just recently, we've started asking for people to either answer a question or share an image. The purpose of this is just to get a bit more information about the characters they're playing. It helps the players understand their characters a bit better, and it certainly helps me as the GM just kind of get my head around a bit more about the faces up on screen. And starting off, I was going to say tonight, but actually we're playing on a Saturday afternoon today. Starting us off today is Graham. Graham, take it away.
I'm going to riff with this one a little bit. In a sentence lasting only 10 seconds, describe the character's hopes and for the future. So I'll just quickly run through characters I'm playing today. Severin, his hopes for the future: become a master swordsman, which is essentially 10th level, so he's not far away at all. To solve the riddle, of course, the cursed treasure and the Twilight of the Old Order, and to achieve, eventually, in his dotage, land status. Wants to become a commander of his own retinue of men. Turning to Tenya, she wishes to become a master bowperson, again 10th level. To restore her family's wealth and standing is very important to her. Expose those who framed her and her family, and kill them. And also to clear her debts. She's indebted several people. Influential debtors are chasing her, so either repay them or kill them. Turning then to the hero party, Neathanol. Her long-term goals, well, she wants to become a master of her craft. In terms of her rather dubious ability to bump people off, which is somewhat put on hold due to more important things like saving the world. And she wishes ultimately to revenge the killing of her partner, Cleesol, who was murdered in Jebel-Mabeth. Something she is intent to do. She doesn't really have a long-term future other than to follow her deity. Likewise, Etienne, who obviously his hopes for the future: adhere to the Maiden's Code, and be true to his goddess and do good deeds according to her guidance, and more immediately to reduce the influence of the pre-Repub movement wherever he can and disrupt its plans. And on the side, vanquish as many undead as he possibly can.
Marvellous. Thank you. Excellent. Who would you like to hear from?
I will pass over to Aidan.
Thank you, Graham. I will answer the question, what is your character's catchphrase? It would just be silence. It's probably what he's known for most of all. It was pretty quick, so I'll say as well, in 10 words or less, he hopes to have a future, and he hopes to have that future with people or person that he loves.
Ooh. Okay. Ooh. Very good. Thank you. Who would you like to hear from?
Got Anthony.
Anthony, thank you.
Right, Chelsea. Fiddly. No, wrong one. And drop a picture up.
Oh, you are? Great. Cool.
Go up.
Thank you. Hang on, I'm just going to change... No, whoops. Right. Oh! I a little bit too excited there and might have blown JL's cover.
Go up.
No, I don't think it did.
Oh, I can see it, I think.
Yep. Yes, there now.
Main game channel.
Yeah, there it is, and it's come up on the screen. It's just taken a while. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely. Yep.
Yeah, so for Askel, he actually has a little bit of a darker side to him that he has to deal with on a monthly basis, and yeah, and we'll tease that out a bit more in the coming weeks. But yeah, it's an example on the left of what he has to get up to.
Standing on his own head. Care to elaborate?
No, I just thought it was funny because I got the first image and then had the kid actually doing it to himself. So. Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thank you. Who would you like to hear from next, please?
Let's go to Alex.
Hello. I'm playing Demos. I'm normally playing Keros, but she's dead, so that's awkward. I'm going to answer the question about the character's hopes for the future. Really, only one goal, and that is to find his sister Freya, who was kidnapped and trafficked, and that's been his ultimate driving force behind everything that he does. And it's quite a fortuitous question for this game, for this session.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Can
Thank
we
you.
hear from Stara, please?
Sarah, sure thing. Jada, Starry, you shared a couple of questions. A couple of images.
Yeah, can we have the jade? No, which one first?
Which one? Sorry.
The one with the desert in the background.
Yep. Done. Yep. There you go.
Okay, so this is where she grew up in the monastery. She follows the god, her faith is El-Tuma. She follows Gulquilin, daughter of Soth, who's the goddess of everyday life. So, common scene where she grew up is all these little altars with those things there on the altar are all about healing, travel, crafts, and trade.
Very cool.
Now, because of her eye color, can we have the other picture? Because of her eye color, she was named after the jade, greenstone jade. So she used to go around collecting those because it was more expensive. She would give them to a special temple where her trainers pray. Jade is supposed to bring wealth and health and ward off negative energy. So when she got bullied, she would try and go into this temple and pray and hope they would leave her alone. That's it. Yeah.
Fantastic. Love it. The images are amazing. Really, really cool. Nice one. Thank you.
Can we hear from
Only one left.
Giles?
Yes.
Giles.
You think so? So I'm going to answer a question no one has. What is the word your character hates, and briefly explain why? I think the word for Tarquin would be confusion. He's young, he's a little headstrong, he just likes to know. So one or two instances of perhaps needing to weigh stuff up and being a bit confused, and sometimes he doesn't like that, so that kind of leads him to revert to some of the things he knows best, possibly to his enemy's detriment. Yeah, and that's Tarquin, and I think that's all of us, Chris.
That is all of us, but just a quick shout out to both you and Graham in particular. Oh, and to Alex. Alex, you're playing Demos for Mason, who can't join us. Giles, you yourself are very kindly playing Mython for Pete, who can't join us in the session. And Graham, oops, you're picking up Nicholas. I clicked the wrong one. There we go. I still picked the wrong one. You're picking up Nicholas and Pete's absence. So really appreciate it on behalf of those people that can't be here today. Thank you for the three of you for doing so. Alrighty, going straight into it. Those are the characters now. Up on screen, there is Askel with his boot on his own head. I love that. Just very quickly, a very quick summation from me, and then we're going to crack straight into the game. Where we left off last time was in the free city of Landana. Landana on the 5th of Year's End. You'd arrived the day before on the unnamed boat. You'd spent the entire day investigating various healing options for Keros. Tarquin made some really good use of prior contacts that he had in the city, and found your way to the Temple of Hera Akraya, one of the old gods responsible for healing and rejuvenation. And through some connections there, and through a pretty princely sum of money, Keros's lifeless body was at least preserved. So the constant threat, the tick-tock of time with Keros literally rotting, was at least averted. You also got a second spell cast on Keros, which healed an organ, and not rejuvenate an organ or replenish an organ, but heal an organ. In this case, it was Keros's skin. And one thing, a slight omission from the GM last time. This person, there are two kind of flavors of healers in Rolemaster. One is a healer like Jada. The other, who is a lay healer. The other is just simply called a healer, a religious healer, and that was exactly who you dealt with last time, Sister Maron. Sister Maron, actually, and I meant to describe it. She actually, the way that channeling healers heal is they take on the injury or the suffering onto their own body, courtesy of the god, or goddess in this case, and their own body heals. So quite a different way to healing for Jada, and quite an unusual way for healing. So if you had a broken leg, if Askel broke a leg, a healer, a clerical healer, would take that broken leg onto themselves, and their body would just naturally heal that injury. So a little bit of context there that I forgot to mention last time. Anyway, those two spells were cast on Keros, and wrapped up in a carpet. She was taken back to the ship. You were accosted on the way by some soldiers, pretty ragtag, rusty equipment. Not exactly the best of specimens, but they were interested in finding out what was in the rug. With some good work from Tarquin, managed to sneak away out of that, got back to the ship. That evening, Tarquin and Askel went to the Drowned Rat, predominantly a tavern, but also with some rooms upstairs, which Tarquin had known previously, for the purpose of Tarquin to meet up with the doorkeeper, Sister Michelle, at the Temple of Hera. And Sister Michelle had made it quite obvious that she rather liked Tarquin. Tarquin had used his not inconsiderable charm and very good looks on her, and perhaps it appeared as though in Sister Michelle's mind the evening might have gone a different way. Tarquin proceeded to be very nice and very charming, but ask a lot of questions about the temple that she worked in, and suggested several times that they actually relocate there for a bit of hanky. Sister Michelle refused each time, but she was clearly interested in Tarquin. Tarquin then went up to the bar to get another drink, and invited Askel, who'd been sitting at the other end of the bar, down to join them. And at that moment, Sister Michelle was clearly not happy at being the third wheel in the group, and made her displeasure known quite clearly, and got up, and after a very short bar brawl that started with other patrons in the establishment, left, and clearly left in very icy fashion in terms of her reaction towards Tarquin. You came back to the boat. You were informed by your host that he had made some really good progress with your transport, and that today, the day that we're starting playing, at midday, the Twilight party needs to be back on this boat, because a fishing vessel and a fisherman is going to take them from the bay here down a couple of hours down the coast east to the small town of Osot, where they're going to wait and then be transported on to their destination. The hero party are going to stay where they currently are in Landana, although they'll be moved to a safe house, most likely tonight, with the intention that arrangements will be made for them to go on to Tarquin. And your unnamed host, your friend with the big bushy beards, this chap here, I won't bring him up in the interest of time, seemed very frankly quite full of himself and quite chuffed that he had managed to do that. So we wake. Your characters have just woken on the 5th. It's the 5th of year's end. It's raining, and it will be once the GM finds some rain. Here's some rain. Medium rain again. Always seems to rain in this place. You can hear the sounds of the city behind you. That is where we're going to begin. Before we do, though, any qualifying questions, anything I've missed, anything that's not clear? Nope. Okay. In that case, let's start the game. So yes, indeed, at first light, you all wake. Some of you awake earlier than others. What do you do?
One consideration is the rather dull topic of shopping. If Twilight are heading off, then this morning is the only time we have to get some supplies. I wonder whether we maybe could just do that offline, Chris. I mean, it's a bit dull for everyone, but what do you think?
Yeah. So look, as per usual, as standard, anything under 5 gold pieces, you just purchase. Particularly in a city, in a smaller settlement, you might need to negotiate and roleplay it through. But in a decent-sized city, as unpleasant as this one is, you just buy it. So assume that you have someone that can speak the language, and I think there are enough people that speak a mixture of Thebronic to assume that you can make purchases such as arrows, trail rations, etc., etc., etc. That's been the way we've played it for a long time. So any mundane purchases, anything that's under 5 gold pieces, just let me know what it is. Please, either when it's your turn, tell me what you might want to purchase. But just assume they're purchased, mark them off your sheet in terms of money, and then add them. So yeah, actually, if you go around and tell me what you'd like to purchase is probably the way to go. But yes, you can definitely do that.
And in terms of in terms of herbs and such like, we would need to play that out at some point.
It's more than 5 GP, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Chris, the other thing too is we've been given some poison, and I know Tarquin has poison law, and I don't know if anybody else does, but we probably want to see if anybody knows what those poisons are and to divvy them up if Twilight's leaving.
Certainly someone can make a poison law roll. Yeah, definitely.
Does anybody else have poison law? Tarquin's is 28.
No.
I think she's 63, but obviously unconscious.
All right. Okay. So shall I make a poison law roll?
Yeah, that would be useful. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay. Is it just D100, Chris?
Yep.
And can I make one roll for all of them?
No, you'd roll one each. So I forget how many I put in the channel. But six.
So can I do exclamation mark R6 D100 to get all 6?
No, I'd prefer to do one at a time, please, because it's going to get messy otherwise. Just before you do that, or maybe make the first roll, Giles. But if I could go around everybody and just find out what people are doing, that would be handy. So shopping, etc. We'll come back to the roll itself in a second, Giles. So Yeah, let's do it that way. Severin, what are you doing immediately?
Well, I think you just say amongst the group that it's probably better to send out the least recognisable person to pick up a few things rather than them all marching out for obvious reasons. I don't know if Gray or since he's presumably still disguised, would be willing to do that. I know he's about to change party, but or indeed Askel, or those two, whether they would be wouldn't mind doing the supermarket run for us, and picking up a few things rather than the rest of them risk being identified.
Yeah, Grey would. The only thing is, I don't know if he can speak the languages that is spoken here.
Oh, okay. What about Askel? Or maybe you could accompany Askel, but
Yeah, Askel's happy to go out on his own.
yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess.
They could both go. Keep each other, watch each other's back.
Yeah, the only thing is I haven't really had time to figure out what herbs we might want to purchase. That's the only trouble. Had anyone kind of looked into that? I'm just thinking of because this is an opportunity because we're in a city just to see if we can pick up some more healing stuff. But not really my. Hey,
Pete did put something in there. Thoughts, heart and lung regeneration herbs.
Just while you're doing that, anything from Demos?
Yes. So Demos has been awake since Cracker Sparrows and has been kindly waiting for everyone else to wake up naturally. He's very nervous, excited, unsure, really needs some advice, and he wants to share that he went up on deck, even though he probably wasn't supposed to, and he saw a passing ship. And he was shocked for a moment because he thought he saw somebody who looked like his missing sister. And he thought, no way, like she's not there. And he did a double take, and it was absolutely his sister. She was on a ship. She didn't see him. And the ship sailed by. It's a pretty old, rickety. I mean, it's big, but it doesn't look. Brand new or anything like that. But there was a very distinct symbol on the sail, and I think on what's it called? That part of the ship, not the bow. Is it the bow?
The stern.
The stern. And he really, he wants to make sure Keros is all right, and that's his first priority. But he doesn't want to let this go, and he needs advice or help. Or does anyone know that symbol? Perhaps Pirate Santa could help out. He feels like he could trust Pirate Santa. So really, this might be his only opportunity to find her.
The symbol, by the way, looks like this. In main game chat.
Do any of our characters know that?
Not me.
Yeah.
But Chris, would they have come across this before, even if we don't recognise it?
You can give me a general knowledge for anybody that wants to.
It's a knot, isn't it? It looks like a knot. Fisherman's knot.
It's a pretty specific knot, look.
So, I asked for feedback. I did, and I do feel as I cut you off on your roll, Tarquin. What was your roll for Poison Law, please?
First one was 27.
7.
So I've got there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. So that would be for the glyphon, or however you pronounce it.
Yep. Okay, and can you roll again, please?
80.
Sorry?
80.
80. Sorry, you just cut out there for a second.
And that's for Tai
Jesus,
Unga.
can you roll again, please? Oh, no, this is the first roll still.
Oh, okay. And you want me to roll again?
Yes, please.
28.
Okay, and 26 was your skill?
Skill is 28.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, and which one were you looking at first?
Start at the top of the list and work down. So
Right.
that would be
Yep.
Clyton.
Cool. So, actually, I'm just going to give you. I'm going to give it to you in order of what's just on my list. Oh, hang on. You wanted Kaitun and Tainaga, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, it makes sense for Tarquin to work through them all.
No,
Yeah.
it's just. Okay. Cool. So you just had an absolute flash of genius, Tarquin. You know, when Tarquin's good, he's good, right? And he's really good today. And you think, actually, even though you're meant to be just doing them one at a time, you actually think you identified two. Details coming into your channel now.
I'm going to almost certainly immediately turn on.
You are?
Well, I'll check them first, actually. So what the Tarquin GM channel? Yeah, he can't help himself.
Yep. There you go. Those are the first two.
Yeah, so I think I'll tell everyone that these are two good poisons. These first two.
What do they do?
So the first one, the golden paste, Clyton, creates coma. And the second one, Tainga, simply causes hits.
Okay.
So I'm going to suggest that we divide them between the parties. There are 6 of one and 2 of the other, so I think we should divide them between the two parties. There doesn't appear to be any, doesn't appear to be any particular need to prepare them in any particular way that I can tell.
Okay. In terms of hero, Niathlon, I think, I don't know if anyone else can handle poisons. I don't think so. But tell me if I've got that wrong.
I can't.
No, for Demos.
I'll probably give you a little bit of a skill, Jada, with your herb knowledge. You'd probably have a little bit of knowledge, but not much.
And then I think then it would just be, Tarquin would be the only, I don't think, actually, let me just check.
I mean, Tarquin can just hold on to them at the moment. It's until we decide we need to use them, and someone just needs to hold them in each party.
Actually, no. Nicholas can handle poisons too. He's plus 48. So he could have a crack at identifying them as well. Are you able to keep? That is of the poisons we have. They're the two that you were able to recognise.
Yep.
So does that mean you can't recognise the others? You don't get another roll or anything?
I haven't tried to recognise the others yet.
Okay, you go ahead. Okay. Well, Nicholas can help too. So, so if you can't, he'll have a crack.
All right. What are you guys doing?
Well,
look at what Haruni. Oh, why doesn't Nicholas do it? If he's because I'm 28 and he's 40 something.
Okay. Can Nicholas have a crack?
Sure.
Some of the others.
So the next one's Heruil, Heruial.
What's that do? Oh, the one we're identifying.
No.
Okay, 40. I rolled 40, Chris, and he's plus 48.
Okie dokie. Yeah. No idea.
Okay.
Yeah, no idea.
Tarquin's going to have a little look-see.
Sure, give me a roll.
16.
Sorry, 28. Thank you. No, what was the roll, please?
The roll is 16.
16. Thank you.
The skill is 28.
Yes, same again. You're just drawing a blank. You had an absolute flash of inspiration on those first two. In fact, you got 2 for the price of 1, but this one's got you stumped, I'm afraid. Both of you.
Can I try?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I'd give
Do I
you,
use the herb lore?
yeah, I'd give you like a quarter of herb lore.
Quarter of my 87 skill.
Yep.
Okay. 74 plus a quarter of 87.
22.
Thanks.
So, yep.
Nothing.
So what was the roll, please?
74.
Cool. Plus, what was the quarter again, please?
22.
2. No idea yourself.
Okay.
Well, we'll have another. Do we? We'll have to see if someone else can identify those further down the track. But yeah, we can divide them in 2 anyway.
All right. What happens now?
Next one.
Okay.
$27.
7. Sure thing. Oh, roll again.
$99.
What's your skill?
Plus 48.
Nice. Which one's next on the list that you're looking at, please? Say again?
K-A-R-F-A-R.
Cool, thank you. Coming into Severance. No, not Severance. Damn it. I'm just going to put this in main game chat, guys.
No secrets. That's fine.
For various reasons. Cool. Main game chat.
Lovely. And how many doses of this have we got?
1.
Oh, okay. And is that the case for all of these, or is there?
No. So the first one we have 6 doses of. The one that causes coma. So
Right.
we can divide that in half. The one
Yep.
that does 550 hits. Pioneer we have 2 doses of. Again, I think we split that in half. The Haruni owl that we have no idea about, we have 1 dose of. This Kafar we have 1 dose of.
Okay.
And the next one, which we should have a look at too, which is Shah Kask Shah. Yeah, I'm a bit dyslexic. I can't turn words into sounds. We have
Right.
6 doses of, and then of course there's the purple powder and the 8 strange balls that we want to have a punt at too.
4 of those. Well, we know what they do. You just chuck them.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Nicholas, next one.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Yeah, no clue. Absolutely
Okay.
no clue.
Next. Anyone have a punt?
Yeah. Okay.
Meryl.
29.
29. Or it could be amazing.
55. 85.
What was the bonus? Jada.
With Herb.
Yep.
Still a quarter. 22.
It's 22.
Oh, still a quarter or the full quarter?
Quarter.
It's a poison, isn't it? 22.
Yeah. Look, JD, you don't know what it is, but you do think it's quite powerful. It does the form and the pace and the smell. When you were studying herb lore, it brings you back memories that this is probably it could be quite a potent poison.
Yeah, Tarquin rolls 57 plus 28, if that helps, Chris.
Thank you. 7. No joy for Tarquin either, I'm afraid.
I think we just divide that in half between the two parties, yeah?
Yep. Can you paste the list in somewhere if you've got it there? Or is it somewhere in the chat?
It's in the chat.
In where? Intel or sorry,
in the main game channel, it's just quite a long way out.
Ah. Have you got it there?
I can send it around.
Or just pop it back in the chat if you don't mind it. I'll pick it up from there.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks. Right. Chris, with the shopping, can we do this out of game time, or do we have to do it now? I mean, for herbs and things, were we to find a herbalist?
As mentioned, you would need, if it's above 5 GP,
Yes, it would.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. You'd need to find a herbalist because herbs can be very powerful in this game. So yes, you would need to find one, and you'd need to do it in game.
Okay, so we'd have to do that, i.e. now, as opposed to sort of rolling for it off, finding the herbalist, and then rolling that off game. That makes sense.
Let me just think that through.
Only I haven't. Nobody's gone through and done any research, so as to what we would even be looking for.
Maybe try another city, guys.
All right.
Because we're going to Osot. That's another city or large town.
Yep.
Yeah, and then on to Jebai Ratana, so
that's
you
right.
should be right.
All right then. Well, I suggest then we just lay low, unless we've got. Obviously, we've got the healer. We've got the hero party are going to be some of the hero party are going to be busy with.
So I think transporting the Nicholas. They go to visit Master Alak at the Apothecary's Haven, and they scoot. Bearing in mind, Nicholas will need to be back by noon.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that then.
And I guess we're going to do that, which seems to make sense to me. Tarquin will cast face shifting on himself, so he'll look like his sailor chap, not look like himself again.
Okay. Give me a roll for the face shifting.
58.
58. The spell is... Successful. Alright, so quickly whip round all characters in game and yeah, tell me what they're doing. Demos, what are you doing?
Just having a little meltdown, you know, and just a bit torn between staying and doing what we need to do for Keros, and then wanting to chase after this ship. So yeah, really hoping somebody knows. I mean, it looks like a sailor's knot or a fisherman's knot, but if anyone knows that symbol, or if Pirate Santa knows anything and could help with, yeah, if they know the ship. But yeah, in quite a fluster.
Okay, what is he actually? I understand he's in a fluster. Is he doing anything in particular?
Well, he's shared his story. He's hoping somebody's going to give advice, and if not, he's going to ask if we can call Pirate Santa.
Okay.
Does anyone have a good general knowledge?
I've got 23, but do things like where is it? Do things like rune reading help? And
no,
what about?
I'd suggest we could go to the Harbour Master. Why don't we go to the Harbour Master and show him the symbol and slip him a few coppers and see if he knows?
That's a good idea.
Well, with Santa if he's on the boat, right? If he's just there.
Yeah.
Can I just question? It says on my sheet that Gray's actually like -19 in the general knowledge. Is that right?
How do you be negative?
I don't know. he actively knows nothing.
He doesn't want to know.
I'd have to look at the sheet. Look, yeah, you can have negative skills if you're not skilled in it. Yep.
What about ancient history? Would that help? Ancient history, racial history? Not really?
Not really.
Damn. I've looked in our intel lore to see if we've come across it before. Doesn't look like it.
What about heraldry? Chris?
Yeah, I mean, you could try basically any knowledge skill you could try. I mean, you could try ancient history, you could try anything you like. But yeah, heraldry could potentially work, sure.
I might have a punt, see if I recognise it using heraldry as a skill.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it'd be crazy not to. 95. And his heraldry skill is 28. And you're still going to tell me it's useless, I know.
It's must, fortunately. Plus, sorry, what's the skill again?
Heraldry is the skill.
Yes, no, the bonus.
28.
28. No, Tarquin, you don't know what it is, but it's familiar. I think you may have seen it before when you were here a few days ago, or sorry, when you were here last time.
I would share that knowledge with the group that this is a symbol which I recognised from last time I was here, so it might be known in the city to the Harbour Master.
Yeah, well, that's if Santa is Santa around. Do you want to go and get him, Tarquin?
Well,
happy to go up.
Just before we do, as per usual, if you just kind of zip through what people are doing, just as a general theme, and then we can actually go through the action. So Tarquin, you're going to head up and find your jolly friend in a second. I've asked what Demos has done. Just give me a description of what Gray's up to for the next little bit.
God, I'm not too sure what he's doing really. He's probably just fussing with Wingy and kind of getting his stuff together. Yeah, he's kind of just he's a bit of a flap as well because he's potentially going to be leaving his old group.
Has he said anything about this to his group, by the way?
No, I don't know if he has. It's just something that I think has been playing on his mind. He doesn't want to leave Keros, so. Yeah, I mean he's gonna go where Keros is going, but it's definitely weighing heavy on him, and he's not one for talking, so it's a bit he's not sure how to tell.
Okay, so he hasn't mentioned this to anybody. Okay, at this stage the players know, the characters have got no idea. Okay, interesting. Cool. Cool. Tarquin, you've got an action which is to head up and look for your talkative jolly friend.
Before I do that, I think he'd mentioned to Gray we're going to head into town and there's a great spice market. I mean, he's pretty obviously good at sniffing stuff and would ask him if he wanted to come. Free as company, I think, when you're going in here.
Yeah, he'd love an excuse to get out and sniff some things.
Okay. All right. Very good. Tarquin, anything other than going and trying to track down your host? Anything else you're doing?
No, so I think Tarquin knows he's going to find the host, ask about the symbol, and then come back and head into town with Nicholas and Gray.
Cool, done. Askel.
No. He'd be wanting to probably just make sure his gear's all ready. He's not too flustered. He relaxed. He just knows that, yep, we're out of here in X number of hours, 3 hours or something like that. So he'd be just chilling, relaxed, happy to get moving.
Is he staying on the boat?
Yep.
Okay.
He's staying on the boat.
Okay. Jada?
Can I have a look at that symbol and try ancient history?
Yeah, sure, of course you can.
You never know. 73 plus my skill is 59.
No, unfamiliar to you.
Okay.
But as you say, you never know.
You never know. I'll stay on the boat and back to the others.
All right. Mithan. That's you, Giles.
Yep, so I think Mithan's going to lie low on the boat. She knows no one needs healing and should be being pretty cautious.
Okay, sure thing. Cool. Leif. We didn't actually have a player. Actually, we didn't have a player for Leif. Pete left some notes. What did he say about Leif? Stay on the side of the boat and then in Landania. Okay, cool. Happy to lend money for Keros. Okay, yep, money for Keros and Neathanol and healing. Fund further expansion to Tarquin. Okay, cool. Very good. So, yep, Leif is definitely keeping a low profile. So is Neathanol, who I just clicked the button for inadvertently. She's definitely keeping a low profile. Nicholas.
Will prepare to go out, but he will take a considerable amount of, while there's the faffing around waiting, he's going to borrow some clothes, put a hat on, just change with someone else in the Twilight party, just make himself as differently dressed as possible, put a hat on, and do his best to just look not him.
Okay, sure thing. And last three characters are all yours, Graham, Tanya, Etienne, and Severin.
Not a lot. I think they'll between those of the hero and Twilight Party left, they will make establish a series of places that they might be able to contact each other in the future, places that they might be able to leave notes for each other in various locations around the known world that is known to them.
Cool.
And they'll do that in an order of priority. One in this region, one in the north, so that they have some means of contacting each other further down the track, should they wish to.
Good. Sounds good. Could you just describe that like a little bit more, like what when you say notes, or give me a couple of examples, please.
I think difficult to know, isn't it? I guess at a known location where they could leave a message or even inscribe or drop a note, and I'm now struggling to think of somewhere that my characters know in this region that would fit that bill. But for instance, back in the city that we were in, staying in that hotel, perhaps the gentleman there who we became quite friendly with would be an obvious one.
Okay.
At least to send them on, to leave a message there. It could send them on to another location or another place to pick up a dead ladder. scenario.
Okay.
The second one would be a dead letter office, probably in the same town.
What's a dead letter office?
It's a drop. It's a place where you can leave encoded messages, like behind a brick somewhere, or under a paving slab.
Right. Okay.
That kind of thing. So for instance, it could be the paving slab where they found that item in the street.
Yep.
That kind of thing.
All right. Could you offline? Could you do some chatting and some thinking with the others and put down where those locations are that you're having those conversations with?
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else for the other characters?
No, just obviously Twilight getting ready to roll, starting to say their goodbyes, wish them luck. Yeah, that's about it, I guess.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, so please jump in if anybody is wanting to do anything. But I'm taking Gray, Tarquin, and Nicholas heading off into town. There had been talk about Askel with his language skills going, but the decision was not, I believe. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, we'll need some language skills. Forgive me, I've not been out in town playing characters. What languages am I going to need? He's got Nicholas has got Thebronic, South tongue.
Okay. He's got languages covered. It's no problem. Thebronic's the commonest tongue.
Oh, we're okay then. If that's yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Please jump in if anybody wanted to do anything, but going once, going twice. Oh, okay. So Tarquin, yeah, you head up on stairs, upstairs on deck, and start looking for your friend, your host. Give me a dice roll, please. You're wanting a low result.
You know what it's going to be. You're 40. Could be worse. The other thing I wanted to ask, Chris, is what time is it?
Yeah, look, it's very early in the morning. So Demos, you were up at first light when you saw the ship go past. It's early, basically crack o' dawn. Well, probably a little bit later by the time you've had something to eat. 7:30, 8 o'clock. So Tarquin, having a look around, and there are certain areas in the ship, by the way, you're not permitted to go, but you have a look around. You ask the crew members. There's no sign of your companion, of your friend.
Okay, so I think what I'll do is head downstairs, say there's no sign of the companion, and then suggest we need to leave and ask somebody else to go look for him, so we can kind of take a two-pronged approach to try and find out what this is, because we've only got 4.5 hours before Nicholas must be back.
All right, maybe Askel, would you mind asking someone about that?
Yeah, sure.
And then I think we'll go.
Yeah, off we go then.
Cool.
Okay, in the first place, I think we're going to go, Chris. I don't know. I'll tell the others. I know much of town, but I've not come across the Apothecary's Haven. But if we go to the Wistful Paladin, a spice shop, both I think that'd be of interest to Gray, but also I know the dwarf that runs the place well, and who's a local, obviously, and I'm sure that he will know where we can find the Apothecary. And so I'd suggest we head there.
Okay.
Okay. You set off. So you head off the boats. Nicholas, Tarquin, Gray, yes, okay.
And Gray will be attired again to look a little different, I presume, Gray. And Tarquin obviously looks different because he's cast a different spell on himself.
Sorry, yes. Yeah, Gray would definitely be just kind of adjusting his disguise so that he definitely looks different, and maybe even a little bit more different to what he was when he went out last.
Okay. Nice. You weave your way through Landana's rain-soaked, pretty dismal streets. Probably not quite as busy as this now, but the route is now becoming somewhat familiar. It's the second time for both Nicholas and Gray. And yes, you around about say 7:30, you find your way through into what was probably once a quite beautiful Grand Bazaar. You can see it there in the centre. The Drowned Rat is, of course, just around the corner, kind of just behind this massive pillar here. Yeah, what do you do?
We're going to find the Wistful Paladin. Hopefully it'll be open, but it's a spice merchant. I'd expect him to be up and going at the crack of dawn. And I'm going to suggest to Gray he has a sniff around and see if there's anything interesting. And tell Nicholas that we should look for Alien Growbolt, who's the dwarf who runs the place.
Yep, Gray would like to have a good sniff and use his general perception to see what he can perceive.
Yeah, sure. Give me a roll, please.
Will do. Sorry, I think I rolled it with something. It still came out 23.
23, lovely.
And his perception is 38.
Yeah, I mean, Gray has a good sense of smell, but it's not specifically that he's got a good... Well, he certainly likes to use a sense of smell. And this place is delightful, Gray. Well, I'll take that back. It's mostly delightful. For anybody that's travelled in interesting parts of the world, but the markets can be fascinating places. Beautiful spices and incense wafting through, often flowers. There's a lot of cut flowers in here as well. There's also less nice smells, Gray, and less nice things to look at. There's carcasses of butchered animals, there's entrails, there's what appears to be a beggar with leprosy in the gutter outside, and there's waste from both animals and humans everywhere. So a cacophony of smells assaults your senses, but nothing in particular stands out. Kind of everything, but not specifically any one thing.
He'll definitely point out any piles of waste that he sees so that the others don't stand in it.
Nice. And others, please?
Well, I'm going to look around for Alien, the owner.
Yeah, great. Give me a dice roll, please. You want up low.
$48.
Yeah, no, he's there. He's setting up the stall and kind of yelling at some of the underlings he's got working for him. Massive, bushy red beard. Yeah, he's there in good form.
Excellent. So I'll wander over to some Alien, my good friend. How are you doing? It's lovely to see you again. I was here a few days prior. And I'll introduce Nicholas, my good friend Nicholas. No, not Nicholas, my good friend. I can't remember Nicholas's pseudonym.
William.
Cheers, William. Thank you. Goes with Janet nicely.
Do I know? Oh, yeah. I did see you here a while ago. You were trying to sell me something, weren't you?
That'd be me. And now I'm going to turn on the charm and ask him if he can point us in the right direction to find... what's it called? The Apothecary's Haven. I'll tell him I've got a message for Master Alec and ask him if he could remind me how I get there.
Give me a roll for charm, please. This is unmasked.
Now it will be low. Oh, I've done it again. 6. Told you.
6. Plus.
No, he's pretty charming. I think it's 90 something. Just let me check. 85.
I mean, you're not on form, but you're still pretty pleasant. Yeah. What are the healers in town? Yeah, I do know where he is. Can anybody, give me a dice roll, please. A 1d6 dice roll.
Oh well. 6.
6. He's a long way away. All the way around the other sides of the bay. 1.5 hours to get there.
How long do we have?
About 4.5 hours. I guess I'd ask him, is he in exactly the same direction as the Temple of Dio, remind me? Are they next to each other, or is that a completely different place? Could I go the wrong route? Just thinking about visiting these two spots before we head out of town.
Are you sick, lad?
Well, I've got a friend who's a bit crook. You know how it goes. We gambled and didn't quite win. And I'd lean over to Nicholas and say he loves a bit of gambling.
Yeah, Graham, could you give me another 1d6, please?
I don't know, I want to now. I thought I did really well there.
I was thinking you'd smashed it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. 6! If only we were playing Yahtzee.
No, roll again, please.
Number of the beast, anyone? Oh no, wrong dice. Oh yeah, but I did it. Another 6. There you go. Keep going.
Ow.
Oh, hang on a minute.
You did the wrong roll, didn't you?
It's why it's not.
Hang on. Did I or did I not? No, I didn't.
You've done it wrong each time. You've done it wrong every single time.
What's it supposed to be?
No,
it's
I
exclamation mark R, not just R1, D6, which will always give you a 6.
He's done it, exclamation
No,
mark.
I'm afraid I am that lucky.
Yeah, he's done it. Exclamation mark D6.
What's the roll, please?
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, you have. My apologies.
Yeah, you're looking at the other one.
Just keep rolling 6s. Yahtzee, go. Bonus.
What's the roll?
6.
Oh, discount any, so 1d5.
That's a funny shape.
If you roll a 6 again, Graham.
On a 1d5.
Yeah, I'll be impressed then.
2.
A 2, thank you. And we're going to keep doing this just for fun. Roll it again, please.
3.
3, and we're wanting 2 more times.
5.
5.
Ooh.
Cool. Alright, done. That'll do us. Okay, he says, I'm sorry to hear that. What were you drinking? Scrumpy? Scrumpy gives me a terrible headache, personally. Just awful, lad. Just awful. Healer, you say? Yes, yeah, I've lived here a long time. I know some healers. Any particular reason you want to go and see those Eastern twats? All very weird. They say. Like, they always say you're on a journey. Everything's a journey with them. Everybody's going on a journey. It turns my stomach, to be honest. But yeah, the Sanctuary of the Silver Lotus is a bit on the way. It's close to here, actually. It's only about 15 minutes away. The Moorside Infirmary, that's also pretty close. It's about 30 minutes from here. Sage Lorena, she did my toothache something fantastic not so long ago, last month in fact. Very close, less than 15 minutes. And the Blind Apocalypse, the Blind Octopus Healers, and he uses a bad word here, that asshole, Daresara Onisai, the elfin guy, not a nice individual. Very close, less than 15 minutes. Plenty of options, lad. Plenty of options.
What about the elf? He's close. He doesn't like elves, no, but you know, that's fine. Tarquin?
Yes, what we want to know is what we can do en route. I think Tarquin would then ask, is there a quicker way to get to the apothecary if we were to, say, get a boat across the bay?
No, all snailed up with sandbars and quicksand. Can't boat round, you've got to walk.
Carriage?
I'm going to suggest to him, I'll gamble you 2 silver pieces for the fastest way you can get us to as many of these places as possible. If I win, you take us with a couple of your crew as quick as you can. If I lose, the money's yours.
Fuck off, I've got a business to run. I am busy. Anything else you want to know? Do you want me to be your tour guide for the rest of the day?
I don't need you to come, just one of your mates. What'd make it worth your while?
Give me another charm roll, please, Tarquin.
Roll. Sorry. Can someone roll for me? Oh, there we go. 86.
Nice. Plus
85.
You want to take one of my staff off my stand to act as your tour guide. Is that right?
Be worth the gamble. It's always makes life more fun.
How much you paying?
2 silver pieces.
Make it 4.
You're wrong.
Bobo! And this quite skinny, red-headed teenager, human teenager, comes over. Late teens, very, very bad skin. Massive overbite. Definitely hit every single branch on the ugly tree on the way down. Yes, says Bobo. And the dwarf informs him that Bobo is now working for you for the next 5 hours. Bobo turns and says yes, and kind of sprays Tarquin with some spittle.
Delightful. I'll tell him we need to get to Swamp Sages, the Blind Octopus, and Moorside quick on our way to the Apothecary's Haven, and ask him to head off with all due haste. And I guess at this point we nod to Gray to make sure he comes to join us, and off we go. You guys, and I'll check with Nicholas, he's happy with that.
Nicholas, thumbs up. Let's go.
All right.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Grace also thumbs up.
Okay. You're really thick, aren't you? Says Bobo. Is it you?
No.
Who's sick? Why do you need all these healers? And then
Just need to keep going, mate. Fewer questions, more moving.
And at that, your dwarven friend summons Bobo down and just clips around the ear and says, "Do as you're bloody told. Follow him." And somewhat aggrieved, the ugly spittle spraying, pimply young man starts leading you off through Landaina's winding streets. First off, Octopus. And with Octopus, there's a really good spray. Like, this guy's got some serious dental problems. Probably needs to go to a dentist as well, by the state of his breath. Yeah, hygiene is definitely something that happens to other people. He winds his way through various streets, and actually some of this is looking reasonably familiar to you, Nicholas. And it's a bit later on in the day, maybe another 10, 15 minutes, and you find yourselves here, out the front. And yes, the doors are open, and people are coming to and fro. The place is open. What are you doing, please?
Head in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, bit of a description. You've been to nicer places, definitely. small, relatively small, quite disgusting looking 2-room floor clinic. Buildings face south with kind of a makeshift storefront, a roof made of turf, and several windows. It's located in an old neighbourhood of the Mercy district. And you hear him before he turns a corner and you see him, but the voice from this man, extremely, and this is in Thebronic, extremely opinionated, kind of quite a nasally kind of voice, and he's extremely curt with the various people around him. He turns a corner. He is dressed quite, however shabby the surroundings. Turns a corner and sees the four of you, including Bobu. He kind of looks you up and down. Yes, he says. How may I be of assistance today? Well, please.
So
Octopus got your tongue.
Tarquin being more charming, so let him do the talking if that's all right.
So I think Charmer would elf himself up as much as he can, would turn on the charm as hard as he can, introduce himself, be obsequious. So good to be in your presence, healer. We're in need of a healer, somebody with particular skills and spells, possibly spells to reconstitute organs. These are serious skills, and we're wondering if you can help.
Okay, and is this going to be I don't need to ask this probably, but this is going to be a charm roll.
Yeah.
Give me a roll. What's a roll? Hello?
Sorry, I keep muting myself. I'm talking to myself. The roll is 45. My charm is 85.
Okay. Yeah, you don't quite clinch it this time. I mean, you're charming and everything, but it really it doesn't have any marked effect. Organs, you say? What kind of organs? Who is this person? It's not one of you. You all appear to have perfectly functioning organs.
There must be a friend of ours. Our heart and lungs, a real challenge, one that should be fun and interesting for you to consider.
Heart and lungs, you say? How on earth does someone misplace heart and lungs?
Some people are more foolish than you'd think, kind sir.
I'm going to ask who's not immediately here. One of the team that's not here. Can you please make a very important dice roll? It is going to be a two 1d6. So first 1d6, and then first 1d6, and then it'll be a different result from there. Give me a roll. You want a high result?
First one is a 1, and the second one is a 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoopsie. Did I do it right?
Right roll.
Exclamation mark D6. Unbelievable.
Way to help the team out.
Well, I had my fingers crossed. Can we do it again?
Oh dear. Actually, while you're on it, Stara, can you do the same again for 1, 2, 3, 4 more times? So first a 1d6.
2. Getting better.
And then roll again. Sorry. Roll again. But sorry, I should have said roll again, but make it a 1d8.
Okay. That one is a 4.
4. Okay. And the same. Thank you. The next one, again 1d6.
That's a 6.
Yay! Roll again, please.
Another D6.
No, one. Sorry. It'd be help if I told you. 1d25.
Okay, give me a sec. D25. There we go. 8.
8. I'll ask you to do that one more time, please. 1d25.
And 10.
Cool.
What are you up to?
And the next one, 1d6. These will mean something in a second.
4.
4. Yep, 4. Can you roll? Second. Yep. Can you roll a 1d20?
Three.
This
is not going too good, is it?
Okay.
Wow.
And then lucky last. $1d6.
Last chance. 2. That was dismal.
So this very pleasant half elf looks at you, regenerating a lungs and a heart here in Landana. You're out of luck.
No.
So I think at this point, Chris.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. Tarquin's going to turn to Nicholas and say to him in a very hushed tone, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you could have a little peek inside his mind. Do you want to see if he's telling the truth and find out the name of his number 2? Maybe, just maybe, he's frankly lying to us.
I'm struggling to think of a reason he'd be lying.
Okay.
I mean,
don't do anything about it.
Firstly, how did someone manage to lose their heart and their lungs?
We need to, and I guess I'd say to Nicholas and Demos that our time's limited, so if we can't find help here, we need to move on elsewhere.
Yeah, can you so that you, to your knowledge, then there's nowhere in this city that could achieve that?
Well, I mean, my memory is failing me a little bit. Yes, maybe if my memory could be helped a little bit, I might be able to provide a bit more advice. I'm not 20 questions, you know.
No, of course not.
Come on, I haven't got all day. Busy people to heal. I am a healer of the sick.
How can we be?
We'll pop back.
Okay. You're back out on the streets of the Blind Octopus.
What's the time?
About just past about 8:30.
Let's just go to the next. I don't want to dick around with this guy. Let's just go to the next one. It's a 2-bit place, right?
Yep. All right. So I guess we turn to our disgusting colleague and ask him to take us to the next place on the way to the Apothecary's Haven.
Well, there's Bobo. There's the healer. She's a herbalist. She's not a healer.
But we want the best healer in Landania.
Oh. That'd be I don't know who the best healer is. I usually go to Sage Lafana. She's the herbalist. She did my toothache.
Oh, that's good. Well, next on the list then.
Okay. So Bobo trots off, and a few streets down the way, actually probably walking a good, say, 20-30 minutes from where you are, you find yourselves here. Quite a beautiful building, and the building itself is pretty intact. I mean, yes, you can see on screen there's creeper and vines coming up and around it, but generally it's reasonably intact. And there's the smell of incense and very, very soft music coming from the open door.
So I think Tarquin would turn to to Nicholas and Gray and tell them this is the Sanctuary of the Silver Lotus.
Is that group? Meaning?
They're mystics and healers. They might be able to regenerate. We'd be crazy not to drop in here while we're here.
Yeah, sure.
Let's have a look.
Okay. Heading inside, you can't see it, but down the side of the building there are some beautiful stained glass windows, and it really is quite a beautiful building, and a lot better maintained than a lot of the others. So, tucked away in a forgotten quarter of Landana, amidst the stagnant waters and crumbling ruins, lies the Sanctuary of the Silver Lotus. Its pristine white walls stand in stark contrast to the surrounding decay, a beacon of purity, a sea of filth. As you approach, a sense of fragrance of incense wafts through the air, mingling with a cacophony of croaking frogs and buzzing insects. The entrance is guarded by carved wooden doors, adorned with symbols of healing and renewal. Inside, the air is wonderfully cool and refreshing, a welcome respite from the oppressive heat outside. Soft sunlight filters through stained glass windows, casting colourful patterns on marble floors. Somewhere, distantly, and it's not a particularly large building, hear the distant sound of chanting, accompanied by the hum of perhaps some kind of energy or somebody muttering, not sure what, or praying. And as you open, the door creaks slightly, and this woman, who is down at the far ends of the building, again, not a massive building, hears the noise and looks up. She makes her way towards you and bows low.
I do likewise.
Greetings, friends. What brings you to the Silver Lotus?
I guess we rinse and repeat. Tarquin will turn on the charm, explain the difficulty they have with a friend who's who died and lost their heart and lungs. I think I just lay it out. Now they're preserved, and we're desperate for any help we can find to help our dear friend.
Could you, does anybody have any knowledge of Dio as a faith? And if not, Tarquin take your reasoning and memory, add them together, divide by 2, and minus off 25.
Is it the stat score?
Stat score.
Or the bonus?
The bonus.
Sorry,
the bonus.
Would you mind saying that again?
Sure. So in this game, any skill that you do not have training in has negative 25.
Yeah, sorry, what was the skill?
Yeah, Dio.
Oh, no. Nothing
Dio.
specific.
Yep. So in
I
that
mean,
case,
religious doctrine?
Dio religious doctrine?
No, just religious doctrine. Oh, no, old gods.
Yep. Wrong faith.
All right. Then, sorry, what do we do here? Add reasoning and...
Reasoning memory, added together, divided by 2, off the 25, negative 25, and then that's your score.
Plus 1.
Minus 12.
Plus 1. Do I roll?
You roll. And this is masked.
8.
Yep, it is masked. Oh. Roll again, please. Amazingly.
100.
That is also masked.
Oh, no, it's not. Wait. Sorry,
Plus-
wait a minute.
Plus your 1. So, Nicholas.
77. Oh, 77, not 100.
So, Nicholas, you know nothing about the religion, this faith, this strange Eastern mysticism where people kind of look inside themselves, and as quoted earlier on by the dwarf, they go on a journey. You know nothing about it. But something in your memory banks, something a bit like Tarquin when he was in the old god's temple. You know what it is. Maybe you heard it in a marketplace or something, but you just kind of parrot a couple of lines. You're clearly not a believer, but yeah, her face, not that she was looking unkind, but her face softens and she smiles. Welcome, friends. You're indeed welcome. You talk of a sick friend. How may I be of assistance?
I'll let you be your charming self, Charles.
Well, I think Tarquin would say, thank you for your graciousness in having us present here. Our friend has died and lost their heart and lungs. We look to replenish them, regenerate them, and are here to see if the mystical followers of Dia might be able to help us in this difficult journey.
Well, I have 2 forms of bad news for you. The first, friends, is that I can't help. Sec. GM's just gonna do this. The second is, and I'm sorry if this is ill news to you, but there is no one in this, well, I was about to say fair city. It's not a fair city. There is no one here that can assist you. The level of healing that you're requiring to, and well, just let me just check. Are you saying that these organs are gone, completely gone? Is that right?
That's correct.
So, to my knowledge, there is no healer here in Landana that has the required sophistication, knowledge, skill to regenerate. There are some that perhaps could repair, but to actually create something out of nothing, if they are gone, no. You would need a healer of prestigious power. And this place, she kind of looks around and you can kind of see her bottom lip curling with disdain at Landana. Not in this place. For your friend's assistance, the the only thing that you could perhaps try is, well, even then that it may not be possible, but is a herb that I'm aware of, a clove to be precise. It would need to be mashed up and ingested. The clove is called siran. It's reasonably expensive, but this does restore an organ. It creates the powers of this clove, infuses into the body, and something, praise be to Dio, causes an organ to literally grow again. I would say, however, that Siran has some rather unpleasant side effects. Pretty horrible skin disease, and also those that are exposed to the full sun are injured. But to my knowledge, in this town, there is not a healer of sufficient seniority and skill. The Apothecary's Haven won't be able to help you. Dr. Falgar in the Moorside Infirmary, a good man, believes in the wrong gods, but a good man, he can't assist. And I wouldn't even bother with the blind octopus. Master Arik at the Apothecary's Haven, no, not of sufficient skill. Unless I am wrong, and I don't believe I am, what you're seeking is not here in Landana.
I guess we'd thank her for sharing her knowledge so freely and her time. I think we'd ask her if she knows if acquisition of this clove is available in the city.
It might be. It's I'm not a herbalist specialist. Your best bet would be to see Sage Lirana at the Swamp Sage's Sanctuary. She is a very skillful herbalist, and there is a good chance that she may have it in stock. It's not, as I understand, it's not an especially rare herb, but yeah, perhaps it is here.
I guess, again, we thank her tremendously for her advice and support. Tell her that we may return with an unconscious colleague, and maybe she'll be able to provide help with her. And I'd check with Gray and Nicholas, but maybe now would be the time to bid our leave.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get much.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Good try, though.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what we'll do, is we'll take our leave.
Okay. May Dia be with you, she says, and she smiles and bows low. Oh, wait. She says, wait. And she goes up to the altar, and she does something, you don't quite see what. And she comes back carrying 3 beautiful lotus flowers. She puts them to her lips and then places one behind each of your ears. Go in peace, my friends.
Especially low, respectful bow. And let's bugger off.
I think, yeah, as soon as we're out the door, Tarquin would lose the flower.
Really? Oh, I'm going to keep mine.
Maybe Gray, maybe one in each earring.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, one for Wiggy.
Yeah.
So ask our simple friend forthwith to the aforementioned location, please.
Oh, that thievy, he says, and sprays spittle kind of everywhere. It's just around the corner.
Great, let's go.
Sure enough, it is just around the corner, literally a couple of minutes away, this place. Slightly better, more salubrious part of town. more kind of northern architecture. Spelling leaves a little bit to be desired. And outside, you can see they're setting up various herbs and tonics and potions. Who's this woman?
I guess this is Sage Lorena.
She certainly looks like the proprietor, yeah.
Well, I guess we'd go up and hail her by her name and see if that's her.
Yeah, she turns. Greetings. How are you on this? Well, she looks up at the sky. Fine day.
I guess I'd turn on all the charm again. And we go through a similar sort of story, except I think what we'd say is we're looking for help for a friend of ours. We've heard of a clove called Iran, which has the magical power of regenerating an organ, and would ask if you might happen to have one and know how to prepare and use it.
Absolutely. I know how to prepare and use it, of course. It's not cheap. Do I stock it, she says. And at this point, the GM puts the following into the channel. And someone who's feeling lucky has got to roll under 48.
I think this is probably one for...
you, Alex.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Really?
I reckon.
Good luck.
Oh,
It didn't say it was going to be easy to revive Keros.
no. What am I rolling?
Under 48, please.
D100, yeah?
Please.
B48.
We'll roll a D47.
Oh,
Sorry.
86.
Sorry, I do have it from time to time. It's not uncommon, but I don't have it.
And I guess Tarquin would ask again, as most charming, is there any chance you have a supply coming in the next day or days? How frequently do you receive your herbs? Is there anything we could do that might help in the provision of such an interesting herb?
Certainly. Give me someone, please. Give me a roll. A D100. A high roll is that it's coming in imminently. Okay, 66. Yeah, she says in 10 days' time, or around between 8 and 10 days, there should be another shipment coming in.
Well, I guess we'd thank her and take our leave.
Well, I would say if Tarquin could explain that, unfortunately, we can't remain in the city for that length of time. Is there anyone else, anywhere else we could try?
Yes. Yes, you could try the Moorside Infirmary. You could try the Blind Octopus, although the Moorside Infirmary has about half the stock that I do. The Blind Octopus sometimes has herbs. The Apothecary's Haven, however, does typically stock all herbs.
And that's the one that's miles away, is it?
Yes. So that's what someone rolled.
What's the time?
Now it's about 9:30.
I turn to Bobo and say, how far away is the Apothecary's Haven? As quick as we can make it from here.
One strike of the bell.
2 hours. I think we should hoof it. I think I'd turn to Nicholas and Gray and suggest we hoof it quick as we can.
Sure. Did you just hear Bruce Forsyth then? But anyway, yeah, let's let's do it. Go.
Yeah.
Good game, good game.
All right.
Yep. We could fly.
I think we'd be slower.
All
Might
right.
stand out a bit.
So you're not running, but you're moving deftly through the streets.
Is there no carriages in this place?
No, not really. Not for public rent, anyway. It's a very novel idea. How modern.
Well, could happen.
Yep. You don't see any. Could I get, please, just like a constitution check for all three of you? Not quite a run, not quite a walk, kind of a jog in between. I'm kind of interested in one roll each, just to check that you don't end up wheezing and coughing. Basically, no failures is what I'm seeking.
82.
82. You're fine?
77.
Fine.
88.
Oh, good rolls. Mark down mediums for all of those.
Do we get there
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Do we get there faster then?
Yeah, a bit faster, because you're moving it reasonably fast.
Brilliant.
So Bobo is kind of hot and sweating at the end of it, and you go all the way around the bay into relatively parts of it quite rural and some almost like some farmland. And it seems like this place of healing is in almost like a satellite little village on the outside and the outskirts of Landana, but in reasonably good time and without attracting any undue attention or any incidences on the way. You duly find yourself here.
So sorry, Chris, as we arrive, I'm going to have to recast this spell, or else my face is going to change, which will weird out this dude.
Okay. Give me your...
I'll need to cast again.
Sure. Step into somewhere discreet, make a roll.
Absolutely. 66, thank God.
Okay. So now, yep, so the spell was successful.
Cool. That'll cover me till we get back to the boat.
Very good. And yet again, heading inside, the apparent owner, who introduces himself pretty much as you come in, as Master Arik, is behind the counter. You have the same kind of conversation. Seems a pleasant man. Somewhat weary. And you ask the same question. Does he stock it? To save some time.
Thank you.
Exactly the same response. Yes, I do stock it. Somebody brave, give me a roll. And let's see if it's under 48. I think that was Keros again.
Really? Okay.
Go back to my earlier comment about it not being easy.
Really, what?
48?
48 or under?
Phew. Oh my god.
Genius.
Woo! Yay!
Well done, well done.
Yes, he says. I do stock it. It's not the nicest of medicines. It's one of the side effects is it results in a terrible skin disease, which basically means the user of this would have a presence of 10% of normal. It says presence 10% normal. I'm not actually quite sure what that means, but it certainly will affect your appearance. So you'll be the person concerned will be hideous in appearance. But also, Master Arik goes on to say, unfortunately as well, just the nature of this herb, when a person is outside forever, for the remainder of their life, and they are caught in the direct sunlight, they burn. And if they stay out too long, they will die in the sunlight. They need to be fully covered at all times.
Alex, what do you make of all this?
Will Grey still love Keros if she's ugly?
Yeah, I don't think he really cares about that so much. I think he's pretty. He he just likes that she's a girl.
Oh, cute.
So some sort of, it would mean we'd be virtually mummified. So would clothes protect that person?
Yes.
Do they sell sunscreen? Cruelty free?
It's going to be a light covering and a headdress forever. So I guess Tarquin would turn to the other two and what do you want to do? I don't know, Karis.
Yeah.
Dressing tips from Jada? I don't know. I mean,
Give me a roll to see how many doses he's got, by the way. A 1d8.
okay. 5.
Do you want to ask how much? We need 2, right?
Well, I think we're asking, will one clove restore 2 organs, or do we need 2 cloves for 2 organs?
So this unfortunate person has lost both lungs and a heart, is that right?
Correct.
Clumsy.
Very clumsy indeed, my friends. Well, last time I checked, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3.
Plus 1. It's just 2 organs, heart and lungs.
The lungs is one organ. It's still connected.
Very much so.
Don't want to give anatomy lessons to the, helpful dude.
He's charging you 3.
How much?
3.
No, how much is it going to cost?
Oh, yeah. Who would like to make a trading roll, please?
Damn it.
And this is definitely masked.
There's similar skills for this?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Is there spare hijab going?
The thing to line up, I'm understanding there is an alternative, though, to this, is to finding a healer, right? And we've got 30 days to do that, right?
Yeah.
No, you've got 30 weeks to do that.
30 weeks to do that, so we don't have to do this. You know, she could just be healed conventionally and not have this, right?
Yeah.
The ideal. We don't want to die just by being in the sun.
How easy is it to use? Because if it's easy, we could buy it, keep it, not use it, look around, and if we can't find anybody else, and we end up at week 28 or something, we could use it then, right?
Well, yeah, I think we'd find it another place. I mean, it's going to be really expensive, right? Particularly as we got no skill.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's something we just want to buy anyway. We're not haven't got sort of bottomless reserves.
Well, we've asked. We may as well make a trading roll, and you never know your luck. Literally nothing to lose. We don't need to buy it. Just
no, I'm not surprised yet. So no one has trading, but what have we got?
If she has to wear gloves to cover her skin, how can she still do her magic?
Yes. Yeah, so long as
I would have to take the gloves off.
Yes, the gloves would need to come off, literally.
Oh, so I'm going to do a shock bolt. Let me take my gloves off.
I reckon we're better holding it.
I'd have to think about that. Possibly.
Okay, Chris, well, Tarquin will do a trading roll to see what he's going to charge him.
So lie perception would give you either lie perception or duping would both give you a quarter skill.
Okay, so he'll use duping because he's 96 for duping, which will be 24.
Okay. Just 1 second. Make a purchase roll, please.
D100?
Yes, and it is definitely masked.
22.
2-2. Could be very good. It could be very bad. And your roll and your skill is what, please, again?
So a quarter of 96, which is 24.
Oh. Second. Yeah, for you, you seem decent people. 110 silver per dose.
How many gold is that?
Sorry, 110. Sorry, beg my pardon. 110 gold per dose. 110 gold per dose.
Yeah, I reckon we politely say we'll have to give that some consideration. The side effects are quite severe.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to give this some serious thought
I agree.
and speak
Put it up
to
there.
speak to the family. Yes. Well, I think we'll thank the guy, right, and go back to the ship, shall we?
5 doses here waiting for you as and when required.
Thanks. Thank you.
House.
Right.
Bobo's outside waiting.
Should we just go back to the ship?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's too much, and I think the
Well, it's not-
ramifications.
I think it's really crippling, and it doesn't sound like it's that rare, so we can go to other places and maybe we find a healer.
Your hero's heading into the middle of nowhere, right?
Well, not directly, are we? I can't remember.
We're going to.
Well, we could jump somewhere. It's a bit risky, but we could jump somewhere in the meantime because we're not. How many days till we leave?
Between 7 and 10, you were told.
Right. So we could jump somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes sense, doesn't it? We know where they are. They might get sold, but it seems unlikely.
Right. We could make a jump to up to the north. At a city that we potentially might know where the hero may not be quite as notorious.
I think Tarquin would be happy to defer to your judgment. Tarquin doesn't really know Carius at all.
Well, Alex, I just want to steer from you, really, what you want to do.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with that.
I mean, if you want to play high-risk poker, Tarquin could try tricking him. He has a good trickery skill. That would require putting the money down, then essentially trying to trick him and take the money back and the herbs, which will go bad at some point. I can't think how else to trick him.
It's more. I think it's more the effects more. I think
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think we should. Tarquin would be happy to bail.
So might we then jump to a city that we know, where we have some familiarity, where we can find a suitable healer, get the damage, and then do this?
Yep.
Yep.
Right.
So we'll thank him, tell him we need to go back and confer, and tell him we might come and see him and retire. And we'll need to head back to the ship post haste. You don't want to miss your noon sailing.
Yeah, let's go.
As you will. Cool. You head off back through the winding streets of Landana. Just to give you a few more views of the city. Going through this kind of the vibe, and this is leading up to the area that's Apothecary's Haven was in, and you wind your way back through various streets, and yeah, you're walking along, and then suddenly, all of a sudden, you're walking past some buildings covered in quite a lot of scaffolding. And all of a sudden, the ground begins to shake and shudder and tremble. Bits of bamboo are coming down off the buildings. Bits of scaffolding and bricks are flying in amongst Nicholas, Gray, and Tarquin as you dive for your lives to avoid the absolute hail of objects raining down from above. And then the dogs start howling again. So on the back of that, all three of you, please. You can see up there, that building, and a bit of, probably that building, maybe even a bit of that. Bamboo structures, there's bricks, and there's all kinds of construction material around. The shake and the quake was severe, definitely, and the bamboo itself is twisted and broken. And stuff just comes raining down onto the street below. And for all of those three characters, please, I'd like you to make some rolls. There was enough warning to get you out of the way, but like things were shaking enough, and you managed, and you had your wits about you at least. So only one roll is required. It's a hard roll. It's based on agility rather than quickness. This is your ability just to leap out of the way, and it's an all or nothing roll. Who would like to go first, please? It's a hard roll.
Oh, I don't mind.
Go for it.
Oh, whoops. 17. Oh dear.
17.
His agility bonus is 30.
That's very handy. Plus 30. Tarquin, you have a 35% chance of jumping out of the way. 35 or under, make it under 35 and you're good.
11.
Sorry?
11.
11! Hey, you're in the clear. Tarquin, bits of scaffolding come down, a piece of brick lands a second or so after where your head was. You're in the clear. With a dive and a roll out of the way, you're fine. Who's next?
All right, I'll go.
Cool. You roll?
Nicholas. 2.
2. Roll again, please.
Oh, God. 15.
2 minus 15 is negative 13. Nicholas, you are paralyzed with...
Plus 14.
Sorry?
Plus 14.
Oh,
agility.
plus 14. Plus 14, yes. Correct. So that gives you a 5% chance. 5 or under, and you're good.
17.
17. Nicholas, there is a hail of construction material that comes raining down on you, and you unfortunately get 1 to 4 plus 85 large full crush attacks on you. Give me a roll, please. 1 to 4 to see how many. You want obviously none, but roll 1 to 4.
2.
2. 2 attacks on you.
Yeah.
First attack. Nicholas. So they were. Nudge. What the hell is that? That's really weird. It's not there. That's so strange. It's not there. You're in luck. Okay, you get the least. You get the least severe. Ow. However, 17 in a D crush. I'm going to ask you to roll the D on yourself, please, Nicholas. 14. Woo! 17 hits. D crush. Another 5 hits. Foe must parry next round at -10. 19 hits taken in total. The second attack on you, Nicholas, please, is just coming. Same again, 17 in a D. Again, D, please.
28.
Again, lucky.
I don't feel lucky. I mean,
very, very lucky. So a brick catches you on the side, Nicholas. Ow! Oh, it's another 4 hits. You're stunned and unable to parry for 4 rounds. You just jump out of the way. You took a bucket load of hits, but no severe damage. My God, though, that was close. Bits of construction stuff rain down around you. It's not pretty. Not pretty. But you're safe. You and Tarquin are safe. There's one left. Great. Make a roll.
21.
21.
And agility is +20.
+20. 41. You have a 10% chance of getting out of the way.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Sorry. You have a 20% chance of getting out of the way.
Okay. What do I have to roll?
Under 20.
Cool. Okay. Oh, 93.
Damn it. It's the same as Nicholas. You get 1 to 4 attacks on you. So you roll a 1d4, hope for a 1.
1d4. Okay. Sorry, just... Oh, 4.
Okay.
Glad Wingy wasn't there.
Yeah. Ouch. Okay, first one, really lucky. It was a 25. The roll was a 25. You take 5 hits. Ow! A bit of chip of a brick just brushed off your shoulder. Damn that! Ow, that hurt. But no further damage. Second one. Yeah, this one here hurts quite a bit more. 11 on an A. Roll the A on yourself, please. This is a crush.
13.
13. These are the kind of rolls you like.
Yes.
Glancing blow. Another 3 hits. You have the initiative next round. That's 2 out of your 4.
Yeah.
Third on you.
Okay. Third one is 17.
Well, hang on. I'll take that back because I didn't tell you whether it was a crit or not. So I'm not going to take that roll.
Oh,
very fortunate.
Okay.
Very fortunately.
Yes.
And the reason why is that it wasn't even less. That was a 3. Again, just a
great.
chip just kind of glanced you, crunch. And then the 4th and final, hope. Now, remember, so I roll first. Hang on.
Oh, you're first? Okay.
Yep. So, well, actually, the machine rolls, but... Rolled a 15. Lucky. Another 3 hits.
Ooh.
So you get showered, Grey, in... you are very lucky. You get showered in basically broken brick, but the chunks are not large. They're not like half a brick at you, just kind of glancing shots. So the quake is short, it's sharp, it's pretty strong, it feels strong, but actually a lot of the buildings nearby don't appear to be that affected. Some have come down, and there is shouting, and there appears to be some damage. There is some distant screaming, and some like peripheral things such as the scaffolding around this building, etc., has indeed come down. There is some damage, but it doesn't appear to be, at least where you guys are, that severe. But people are quite understandably pretty shaken and pretty, oh my god, what just happened? Are the gods unhappy with us? What do you do?
Drop a block, get away from scaffolding, and go around.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything from Tarquin?
I presume we can all move freely despite our hits.
Yes, yeah, you're just, in terms of injuries, Nicholas definitely took a pasting there. But he's still, he was stunned, no parry. You give it some time, Nicholas, you kind of shrug off the stun, no parry. You've taken a walloping of hits. You're down on, you were on 68, you're down on 47. And Grey, you took a few as well. You're down to 97 out of your 122. So you've kind of scratched and covered in dust, brushing bits of brick off you. You were lucky. Seriously, if one of those criticals had gone the wrong way, that could have been a pole through the head or whatever. Yes, you are able to function. Ultimately, just a bit battered, a bit bruised.
Grey would touch his little lotus flower and thank whoever it was.
Nice. And eventually, you find your way back. Takes you a while, but you find your way back to the docks, and then finally to the ship with no name. Bobo, who was in front of you actually and managed to avoid being struck, nods and smiles. He thinks he's done a good job for the day. Gives a salute and heads off on his pimply way. What do you guys do?
Thank you, Boo Boo. I will say that, and then we'll be off. Yeah.
Yep. Back to the boat.
Okay. Back on board. What do you do?
Report back, explain what happened, and explain the dilemma in which we face. Explain to everyone the effect of the herb, and we think that we might be better off. Well, I guess it's one for the hero party to decide, but the option is either to take up that guy's offer of the herb for X amount, quite a lot of money, but accept that there'll be a significant disfiguring and a permanent issue with sun, which is far from convenient, or we consider using some of this ability we have to use the navigators and jump to somewhere more favourable that perhaps we're familiar with, and so would save a lot of time and faffing around, where we try and find a healer for Karios. And somewhere a long way from where we are, so that we minimise the risk of being recognised. And perhaps Bad Santa could help us with that in terms of
Bad Santa.
would maybe help give us a little. He's obviously got some teams in different places. I know they take time to set up, but then perhaps he might know some people in. I don't know. Let's have a chat with him. Can we call Bad Santa? Say his name 3 times. What is it? Doris? Well, I can't remember what we're calling him. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else from anybody else? Anything from the Askel or potentially a somewhat traumatized Demos or Jadar, etc.? I shall come to you in a second. One thing I'd say, coming back through the alleyways and back to the streets, different parts of the city have been hit by this earthquake in different ways. There's definitely been some damage, and on the way back to the boat, there's some fires that have sprung up, and you've definitely heard quite a bit of screaming. You have seen a few buildings that have come down. It hasn't leveled the city, clearly, but the area that you were in, the scaffolding came down around you and some other peripheral things, but definitely elsewhere in town, there has been some destruction. And you've seen at least 2 or 3 bodies. So it's been a reasonably strong quake, and certainly on the boat, by the way. All of the people on the boats certainly felt it and saw it and felt the effects and heard the rumble. Unaffected, of course, on the boat, you're okay. So yeah, any characters on the boats? Anybody saying anything? Need to know about.
No, you kind of covered everything Askel was going to ask about earthquake. Does it look like we need to go and help anyone in and around, or? Are there people calling for help, or?
There's no one calling for help. There are certainly people helping, and this doesn't appear to be a lot around the docks. Although you can see a fire off in the distance, but there's certainly no one calling for help. It's probably the main thing.
Did Askel, did you find out anything about that symbol?
I do not know.
Did you? Did you? So, okay, so we didn't play that out. So over the course of the morning, your host, benefactor, does make his appearance known. Comes down, very jovial, very jolly. So we're all set.
Pirate Centre.
Yeah, we're all set. Friends of the Saviours of Narth, ready to go at noon. Yes.
Yes. And what time is it?
Having this conversation when the other 3 get back to the boat, it is approximately, call it 11:15 thereabouts. This conversation is happening around 10 a.m. Earlier conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah. Prior to the group getting back.
Correct. Okay. He asks us if everybody's ready to leave, and then sound like people are. Heads on out. Heads on out of the room. Unless anybody else does anything.
What we want to ask about the
symbol.
The symbol.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise that was the cue to ask.
Demos will still need to resolve, what he's going to do, still wanting advice and...
Well, Etienne will run after the Bad Santa and say, hey, sorry, would you, we've just seen a boat and with a symbol on the side. I wonder if you could help with what it means.
If I can, certainly.
And Etienne describes the symbol.
Yeah, not familiar to me. As I've said, friend Etienne, I try to spend as little time in these parts as I can. It's not a symbol that I know myself.
Have you got any locals among your crew who might know?
I can check with Gillian.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Gillian, come here. And this guy, you've seen him several times. It's actually who you're modeled off, I think, Tarquin. Not the most pretty of people. Comes sliding up. Yes, he says.
Oh, Gillian, hi. My name is pseudonym. And I'm just wondering, a friend of ours has seen a sailboat with a very prominent symbol and seen someone very known to him who he loves very much, and I wondered if you could tell us what the symbol is, where you think the boat may have been headed if it's going that way, and Etienne describes the symbol.
Knots, you say? Knots, 2 knots, yes?
Yes, two looped sort of a looped sort of sailor's knot.
Yes, yeah, Cadus family.
Cadus?
Cadus
Who are they?
family.
Who are they?
Slavers. In the rope business.
Ooh.
Old family. Old family.
They're from here, are they?
Oh yes, the estate, maybe an hour and a half to the west. Landana. Bit up the coast and then inland a little bit.
And so if the boat was heading, Etienne indicates which way the boat was going, they could be headed that way?
Could be going anywhere, but yes, there's a good chance. Slaves, they use plenty of slaves. They've made their money making rope. There's a particular fibre, a particular creeper that comes down from the trees. They get slaves up there to cut down fibres, cut down the vines. They made many ropes over the years and made a lot of money. Not nice people.
No doubt. And so how far would it take to get, how long would it take to get there? You say an hour and a half by boat?
Thereabouts, never been myself.
No. Okay. Thank you. That's really useful information. Thanks very much.
Welcome.
Okay. The other lot haven't got back yet, have they?
About now, that conversation took place at 10ish. The other 3 arrived back at, as I said, about 11:15. So, yeah. Was there something else?
Etienne will go back and explain what he's heard and to Demos, and ask Demos what he wants to do.
Demos would definitely like to go and see if he can find his sister, but appreciates that, it's a bit time sensitive with sailings and Keros. And potentially he might have to set out on his own. He might need just a bit of time to ponder, and he'd want to hear how the trio went in town with the inquiries for Keros first before he made any decisions.
Yeah, so I think we'd part all that information, and say that we've got the choice here of purchasing this herb, and for as you've heard, or we head for another city, perhaps ask Doris what he can do, and whether we can go to another city that we know, but somewhere where we think is low risk, and he may better help with that. I mean, we are known all over the place, but potentially far-flung place, well away from here, it might be worth a trip. We've got a few northerners among. Have we got any? Well, yeah, most of us are northerners, aren't we? That might be worth a crack. And having some local knowledge might be useful. What does the wider party think of that, Hero?
The bell, by the way, chimes for half 11. Half an hour until Twilight departs.
All right.
As a heads up.
All right. Well, that's something Hero can ponder on, and we can sort out for next time in terms of what we're going to do there. And maybe we can give some thought to that. And then, I guess, just saying goodbyes to the Twilight Party.
So what happens? I'd love to hear from. Let's start with Jada.
Oh gosh, what a moment. Probably have a tear in my eye and quietly say my goodbyes.
Who's she most cut up about to say farewell to?
All of them. She's very worried about Karios, but now she's dead. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all of them.
And Askel?
First question: are we getting off the boat to another boat, or is this boat going and they're getting off? Heroes getting off this boat.
A fishing boat is coming here to collect you.
Oh, so we're getting onto another boat.
Correct.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't know if he really knows the hero party that as well, because he hasn't had heaps to do with them. I know we've had a couple of brief interludes, sort of thing, but I think just probably just goodbye. As I said, like he hasn't really interacted with many of them, to be honest. I think I recall. So just simple goodbyes, nods.
I mean, you're right in terms of time. You first the two parties interacted. Some month or so back, 2 months back, when you first met in Manta at the very glitzy banquet, you may recall. Then, of course, you met up and spent some time in the in-between. And the in-between was all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or so days. And then this time round, you've been reacquainted about a week ago. So, Askel's, you are right. I mean, you've spent in total with these people combined, call it 2 weeks, 3 if you want to stretch it out. But you've been through a lot. But time-wise, no.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're spot on with timing. Other people.
Well, Etienne will be very vocal. He's going to walk around giving everyone big bear hugs. And solemnly wish them all the luck in what they want to do, and maybe we both all be victorious against our common enemy. They've already discussed lines of contact. He wishes that we'll meet up, and he'll finish with, all that is behind you is in preparation for what is yet before you. While we cannot control life, we do have a choice in how we respond to what life brings and how we react. May the fire in your heart be strong enough so it burns away any obstacles that come your way. Farewell, friends.
Nice. Cool.
I think similarly, Severin will be quite effusive, clutching hands, wishing everyone the best, hoping they meet again, and all the rest of it. And Tanya will be slightly less effusive, nonetheless, with clutched shoulders and wish them well. Nyathana will continue to sleep.
Great.
He'd be very nervous, but he would probably just he'd probably say, I have to stay with Karios. He'd say it quietly at first, and then he'd just say it really, really loudly. I have to stay with Karios. My Karios, and then he would look to the members of the hero party and say, I wish to remain with you.
What's the reaction to that from everybody?
Severin's pretty floored by that. He kind of just his drawer drops open and sort of says, "Ray, are you certain of this?"
Yes.
Well, I see your heart's made up. It's been we've been through a lot, my friend. An awful lot. It would be, it doesn't seem right not to have you fighting alongside myself and the rest of the crew.
Yeah. Gray would be very sad. He wouldn't have the words really to respond, but he'd go and give Severin a big hug.
Jada will ask if to say she's happy that you're looking after Karios. She'll be in good hands.
Anything from Askel, Tarquin, Demos?
Keros's heart starts to grow back. It's miraculous.
I knew it.
It starts to form. The power of love.
Yeah, Tarquin would slope off into the corner, pull out his knife, start to pick his teeth. We ignore this show. Doesn't know these two.
I realise you're playing them for other people, but any reaction potentially from Mythan, or what would Leif do we think, or maybe Nicholas, or any reaction? What does Askel say in relation to Grey jumping ship, as it were?
Yeah, I think Askel would smile and shake his hand and say, "Yeah, I'll miss the bird."
I think Tanya would probably just sob, actually.
Sulk?
Sob.
Oh, sob.
Yep, she's quite sad about the whole thing. Yeah, and I'd say so, yeah. And Nicholas, Nicholas, he's not going to show. He would very rationally go over, shake him formally by the hand, and wish him all the best. And, he'd be very interested to know what befalls him and how they get on, and I hope they meet again.
Okay.
And, go on. Just to finish that, Tanya would just give him a big hug.
Nice.
He'd be shocked by how sad Tanya is, but he'd be very grateful, and he'd wish them all well, and thank them for saving him so many times.
Particularly Jada.
Yes.
Sorry, Demos.
Yeah.
Demos would be delighted to know that Grey would be there for Keros, particularly now that there is the potential that he'll need to go off and do what he needs to do for his family, potentially. So, no words, but a big bear hug, I think. And just, maybe an arm squeeze and a nod.
Any other words or comments from anybody?
Askel would also like to say to Grey, do you want your stuff back that I've been carrying?
Yeah, go on.
I've still got your mace and your bedroll.
Yep, he'll take it.
I'll make sure I adjust that on the sheet.
Excellent.
Thank you for carrying it all this way.
There you go. Any other comments? Any other?
Yeah, simply reiterate the locations of the drops to Grey, so she certainly understands how they could contact you further down the line. And wishes them well, and hopes they'll be able to meet up again. And gives them a good warrior kind of chest bump. Chest bump. Elaborate handshake.
Yeah.
That
Grey
kind of
would
thing.
draw her back.
And then sound of 12 bells strikes, and it's time to go. It's time for the parties to part. Sure enough, pretty much on the stroke of 12, your unnamed friend comes to the door. He's actually less jovial than he normally is, and just looks around Twilight and says, "It's time to go. Take your stuff." Once you've collected your belongings, he leads you up on deck and points down at a very modest craft bobbing in the water. A small fishing boat, one person on it, as opposed to the multitude that you see on screen. This man here, Opera. Opera's a good fisherman, doesn't ask too many questions, says your host, and he'll guide you well. He will look after you from here all the way to Osot and make sure that you are housed securely on your arrival in that fair city, town. Go well, saviours of Nath. May you fare well against the foes that await you, the adventures that you have. May the gods be with you. Uphold the old order. That he nods, and one by one, each, the Twilight party, clamber down a rope ladder to the modest fishing vessel bobbing on Landana Harbour. Once you're all settled, once your gear's been stowed, this man gets a pole, pushes the boat off from the hull of the unnamed ship, and with a crackle of sails, reasonable wind that's behind you, the little boat heads off into the open harbour, leaving your companions, your friends, the ship behind. That is where we're going to leave it for today.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Oof.
I'm trying not to get upset because, like, that's not my character. But it's quite momentous. And it's so true about how we think it's been like months or years, but it's actually been days or weeks in real time.
Yeah,
Game time.
crazy.
Yeah. It's been 6 months.
Yeah.